Hey everyone, it's Johnny Hahn, Justin, and look who's back. BP is back. Back by popular demand. We brought BP back for some college football, and he's got some NFL for us as well. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Good.
Good. Don't all speak at once. So, here we go. Let's talk just real briefly. NFL last night. Bills are who we thought they were. Bills look great. Rams look hungover like they just won a Super Bowl, and their defense just didn't come to play. Josh Allen's great and all, but when you got guys just 6 yards away from every receiver every time he throws, it's easy money, isn't it?
Yeah, he had that nasty stiff arm, though. That was pretty nice.
That was the play of the game. That was awesome.
Hope everybody took Josh Allen over 35.5 rushing yards because that hit.
Yeah. So a good game for a good first half, and then the Bills just dominated the second half, outscoring 21-0. Hey, what's up, Chris? Just Rams couldn't get anything going, and that defense just looked terrible. So let's move into Friday night. We already did Friday's plays. Just a real quick recap. What I had Friday, I went with UCF laying the points 5.5, 6. It varies at the books. UCF hosts Louisville. So we'll lay the spread on that. That's the pick I'm going to give on this play and stand by it. Going into college on Saturday, I got 2 picks. Anybody got anything early college Saturday morning?
Yeah, I've got Alabama, Texas. Got a couple bets for that.
Okay, let's hear it. Yeah, that's a good one.
So Texas is. I don't have any questions about Alabama. Not one question. The only question I have is, can you wake up and do an early game 800 miles west of where your school is? So I think that's the only question I have for Alabama. With Texas, with Sark, he came from Alabama, so will he have any of their tendencies? I don't think so. Because you saw with Georgia and Oregon, it didn't matter with Oregon's head coach. So I like 2 bets in this game. I took the spread of 20 for the full game. I know that's a lot of points and being on the road, but I just think Alabama's that good. And, Texas is young. They've got a few, they looked impressive week 1, but now they've got to play the number 1 team. At least they got them at their home field. But I like Alabama minus 20. I think the line's jumped up to 21 just in the last hour. I also like the first half minus 11 for that game for Alabama.
All right, sounds good. You on that, just BB?
Not playing the game. I understand the pick. Alabama minus 20. I would lean that direction. If it was 24.5, I might lean the other way though.
Yeah, the line's a little much for me. I'm a little surprised it's not higher, to be honest with you. What's Texas supposed to look like this year, Justin?
They've got a really good quarterback, but, he hasn't proven himself yet. So, I don't know. They were supposed to look good last year and look like a dumpster fire. So, they're supposed – they said they're going to be improved this season, and I do agree they will be better because they really can't get any worse than they did last year. So I think it's going to be probably kind of competitive first quarter. I'd say, maybe a 3-point lead Alabama's way. Could even be tied. I think Alabama steps on the gas pedal with some points, and they'll be up 14-17 by half. And then you'll probably see, they slow down a little bit, try not to kill them too bad. Nick Saban does call the dogs up, but I see Alabama win this game by 27 points.
All right. We'll look for that. So there you go. What you got, BP? Anything going on first thing college?
I'll backtrack a hair. I did take a small play on UCF minus 6 for tonight. I wasn't on the Wednesday show, so I'll throw that out there. But early on Saturday, I got Missouri plus 9 against Kansas State. Both teams won last week. I just think – I don't know if Kansas State's as good as advertised. I think Missouri can keep it close. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they can keep it close. I took them plus 9 earlier in the week. It's now plus 7.5. Numbers way different, but I'd probably still take it.
Okay. I'm waiting on you to say you're going to drop 50 on Michigan. 50 points.
50
Well, we can have a whole different conversation about that. Michigan has a split fan base right now, and it's Team JJ versus Team Cade. And as far as I'm concerned, JJ McCarthy cost us the Michigan State game last year, and I'm not a big fan. And I think Cade McNamara should be the guy, but it's still up in the air. And he's going to start. JJ is going to start on Saturday. So 51 points against. I know Hawaii's trash, but if JJ gives up a couple of fumbles or interceptions, we're not covering 51 points.
Vandy put 60 something on Hawaii. I don't think you have anything. I don't think anybody's turning the ball over for Michigan.
Yeah, most likely not. I mean, JJ against low quality opponents, yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine. But when you put him against Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State, teams like that, it's a different story altogether.
Yeah, I agree with your quarterback, though, McNamara. I like him.
He just won us a Big Ten title and took us to the college football playoff. Why would you go a different direction?
Yeah, I think he's underrated for sure.
And Chris likes taking the Michigan team total. Wonder what that is, about 50?
Well, the over-under is like 63, and if they're favored by 51, it's got to be 55?
46?
40, I don't know.
All right, I'll go. I got two games. I'll start off Virginia, Illinois. Virginia's 1-0. Illinois is 1-1. Illinois is the favorite at home, -4. Total set at 57. Virginia beat Richmond 34-17. Illinois lost to Indiana, which I did not see coming last week. Illinois put up their share of yards against Indiana, 456. Balanced attack, 232 pass, 224 rush. Virginia beat Richmond like they should. Had some good rushing yards. Gave up 2 turnovers. Gave up 17 points on defense. 330 yards to a Richmond team. I like Illinois here. First half, -2.5. Illinois only had 2 penalties all game. Held Indiana under control, really, 180 passing, 170 on the ground. I like Illinois to take control of this game in the first half, and I'm willing to lay the 2.5 points in this game. Anybody have any thoughts on that at all, or not really?
I gave up on Illinois after that Indiana beat them.
There you go. So I'll take it. And I'll run with this. So what else? Justin? What else are you looking at?
I've got a bunch of games down now. I'm going to talk about 2 that I'm pretty confident in, and then 2 I'm betting, but I'm not 100% confident in. I took Texas A&M -17 versus App State, and a lot of people are like, well, App State just put up, 60-something points. But North Carolina has a terrible defense, and A&M's got a really good defense. I mean, a really good defense. Like they shut out Sam Houston State last week. Wasn't impressed with their offense, but they did have like a 6-hour rain delay. So, I do make that as an excuse for maybe not the offense not being as productive. But, 17 versus App State, you're the number, what is A&M, 5, 6 right now, and you've got a great recruiting class. Defense is solid. I think A&M covers the spread no problem.
They're playing at home?
They're playing at home.
Okay. Yeah. Seems reasonable. What do you think, DP?
Makes sense.
What else you looking at, Justin? You said
I forgot. I got to write down who they play, but you got on your sheet who Central Michigan plays? Let me see. Let me look it up real quick.
I don't have a sheet. I can look it up too.
Give me 1 second. I'll go with a different pick.
Go ahead and look it up. I'm going to blast this out real quick. We got the Iowa in-state rivalry here. Iowa State. Iowa State travels into Iowa, battling it out for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. Iowa is actually laying 3.5 points after that embarrassing win. I mean, you win, but you win on 2 second-half safeties. 7-3 against South Dakota State. Did not do nothing with the ball. 109 yards passing, 57 rushing. Only gained 10 first downs all game. South Dakota State defense held their own. as expected against South Dakota State. Only 87 passing and 33 rushing. So what a game that was. That had to put you to sleep. Iowa State took care of business against Missouri State 42-10. Got it done both in the air, 293 and 176 on the ground. Only gave up 3 penalties all game for 20 yards. Man, I'll tell you, Iowa's won this series the last 6. Iowa leads the all-time series. Iowa State has not won since 2014. Last year it was 27-17. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near that. Total set at 40 in this game. I'm all about Iowa State here. I don't know how much you can improve in a week. It's probably worth taking some on the money line. I'll play it safe and take 3.5 points. Could tease it 2-10 if you're looking for a teaser option as well with this. But give me Iowa State, definitely with the points, and probably a little bit on the money line as well.
I like it.
I've been thinking about that one myself.
I didn't expect anybody to come here with an argument on Iowa today. Like,
if I took it,
Iowa's going to be better. They just had a bad game.
If I took it, though, I'd probably take the money line.
Yeah. What's going on, Chris? What's he got going here? You'd probably take the points. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I would take the points because you never know, they could get 2 more safeties like they did the last game.
I like the value in plus 140, but the team Justin was asking about, Alabama State's the opponent.
I got South Alabama.
Against who? Who are we talking? Central Michigan?
Central Michigan, South Alabama. Yeah, you're right.
I really love Central Michigan minus 4.5. They, they lost last week, played Oklahoma State, but they put up a lot of points. And South Alabama, they've got actually a decent defense, but their offense has been lackluster the last season. I like Central Michigan to win by a touchdown easily here.
What you know about South Alabama? Is that right around the corner from you?
They got a great meteorology program. I almost went.
Okay, how far is that from your house?
About 200 miles.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I don't know enough about South. I follow them in basketball, but football and
I know them well enough that their football teams.
Sleep on South Alabama.
All right, what else you got going, BP? I've gave out my games. We'll see what else we got in college, and we'll move into the NFL.
I'm going to take Tennessee minus 6.5 against Pittsburgh. Both teams had wins last week and pretty good games, but I think Tennessee's offense is overpowering and on the brink of unstoppable unless they're playing teams like Georgia or Florida.
Is Tennessee on the road?
Tennessee at Pitt, I believe.
It was a touchdown. It's dropped to 6.5.
Yeah, I've got it at 6.5, and it's in Pittsburgh.
I'm an SEC guy. I just don't know about them. If anything I liked was the over-under in that game, but I'm still probably not touching it. Was it a 63?
Over-under is, let me see, 65.
Oh, that jumped. I was going to say I like the over, but now it's getting a little too
Not
high.
anymore, huh?
Yeah. Well, if I still bet, I'd probably take the over. I can see that being a 41-38 game or, vice versa. It could be 48-38. I think some points are going to be scored here. Tennessee, one thing I know about Tennessee, it's been their year to be back for about 9 years now, and it has not happened. I think this honestly is their best chance to be back in real contention for the SEC East title. They haven't won an Eastern Division since 2007, and they lost in the SEC Championship then, and they just have not been relevant since Philip Fulmer. So if they're gonna be back, they need to show out in this game. And no one can tell me beating Ball State last week was a show-out game. This will be a good test.
Yeah. I would lean maybe. Is it 6.5?
It's Tennessee minus 6.5.
Yeah, I might buy the hook and take 7 points at the home team myself, but I may not even look at that game. I got some other ideas too. Some of my best plays I can't even hit on right now. I'll tell you, there's some games I really like. Well, I'm just giving out a few free plays here today. I don't like my pick with Iowa State under. Did I pick it right? Yeah, man. Yeah, under is probably the way to go.
I can guarantee it's not going to be a shootout. Unless
one team gets a field goal and 2 safeties last week.
That might look like a touchdown, but it wasn't.
2 out of the last 4 matchups were decided by 3 points or less. It's going to be a dogfight, and I think your best bet is to take the points. That 40, I mean, by college standards, 40 is really low. So, I mean, some of these teams can put 40 up in the first half.
I think it's going to be a very ugly game, boring game.
Hard to watch.
Yeah. It'll be one of those when I flip on commercial, I'll be checking out the Iowa State game. I'm not going to watch it through, I'll tell you that.
2 minutes here, 2 minutes there.
Yeah, so there we go. Nice for you to join us, Don Play. Any questions, let us know. Any games you're on the fence about, we'll see what we can do to help you. Any more college guys, or we'll go right into the NFL?
I've got 2 more real quick. I'm going to take Old Dominion plus 12.5 against Eastern Carolina. Old Dominion got a win last week against Virginia Tech. Eastern Carolina comes up short against NC State. And you're giving me 12.5 points against a team that just hit a plus 230 money line for me last weekend. So I'll roll back Old Dominion and I'll take the points there. And the other one I like is Florida minus 4. Now the line is 5.5 now. But I like going back with Florida also, who hit me big time in the bankroll last week. They're playing Kentucky. And I think Utah and Miami of Ohio are completely different opponents. You know, as we talk about Florida, their strength of schedule, and Kentucky and theirs.
All right, there you go. I haven't looked at the Florida game yet. That's on my list to do tonight, to look at that matchup. But I do like your Old Dominion pick. I have looked at that, and I agree with that one 100%. So the Florida-Kentucky game is always tricky because somehow Kentucky always plays them tough. What do you think about that? You know a little bit about that, right, Justin? Florida, Kentucky, that's always a good battle.
I got Kentucky actually plus 6.5, but I'm not confident in that. If you'd have told me before preseason that would be the line, I would take Kentucky all day. I really think it's going to depend on Florida's quarterback for this game. Will Levis plays for Kentucky. They started slow last week, but I think they'll be ready to play in the swamp. Florida does have it at home. It's going to be a point. You got to look at the factors. Florida going to be hung over from the Utah game. I mean, that was a physical, emotional battle, and it went from start to finish. So I'm not 100% confident in that pick. If I had to lean, I'd lean Kentucky. But if you got it 4.5, that's good. I saw it at 6.
I got it at 4. 6.5 is hard to find as far as your side of things.
It's in the swamp.
I believe so.
Yeah, right there tells me I kind of lean on the Gators there.
Yeah, home in Florida again.
Okay. Florida's back-to-back home must be nice there. All right, yeah, I'm going to have to look at
Michigan's got 3 in a row.
Yeah, well, it'll catch up with them. We'll have some tough ones.
I hope not.
I got one more real quick. I took Maryland first half minus 13.5 versus Charlotte.
All right. Yeah, I was going to look at that game too. I think that's a big mismatch too. You may be onto something there. First half, 13.
Maryland's in one of my teasers. Yeah, I took Maryland minus 20.5, I think, on a teaser parlay.
Well, it's up to minus 26.
Oh, yeah, 6-point teaser.
Oh, you did? Oh, teaser. I'm sorry. I thought you said parlay.
Well, it's both.
Yeah.
It's a teaser.
Gotcha.
Teasers can save your life. I'll tell you that. You got to catch two games instead of one, but buying them points in one direction, 6 points, 6.5, can a lot of times make a difference. These lines are sharper and sharper. I mean, we're just trying to beat the lines by the slimmest of margins, and these books are on it. I see a lot of games where the teaser would hit on any 4 of the situations. Home team, away team, under, over. There's sometimes these middle situations. And I thought we'd have that last night in the football game. I actually thought over 46 was a fair argument and under 58 was a fair argument, but 41 was the total.
Well, I had 2 last weekend. Purdue was a plus 3.5. They lose by 4 points.
Yep.
And I had New Mexico State plus 37.5. They lost by 38. So, yeah, the lines are getting pretty sharp.
Yeah, they are. They are. So let's get into NFL real quick here. Or not real quick, but anyway, lot of home dogs. I do know that. There's probably, 10 home dogs this week?
It's
Lots
a
of.
bunch.
So, BP, shoot us out something while I kind of look at the schedule and tell us what one of your better plays for this NFL this weekend looks like.
I got two favorite straight plays and their spreads. I'm taking the Bengals -6.5 against the Steelers. Some would call that ballsy, but I mean, you got the returning AFC champions. They come back pretty much full-fledged. Where did everybody go?
You're on the spotlight.
They come back full-fledged. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, the whole thing. The Steelers are coming out there with Mitchell Trubisky, a guy that played for the Bears for however many years. I just don't have any faith in the Steelers this year, despite how good Tomlin is. He doesn't have the talent on that roster. It's going to be the Najee Harris show versus Joe Burrow, Mixon, Chase, and company. So I'm taking 6.5 there with the Bengals, an away favorite, and their money line's -270. I wouldn't touch that, though. I also took the 49ers, same line, -6.5 to cover against the Chicago Bears, another away favorite. Their money line's -295. Again, no value there. Take the spread. Trey Lance, either way, I don't care if it's Lance or Garoppolo, and it sounds like it's going to be Trey Lance, but the team around him is Super Bowl caliber, and the Bears are absolute dog shit. So that's it. That's what I got.
All right. Bengals has moved down to 6 at a lot of books, and I don't know why. I kind of like the Bengals too, but I have a hard time ever counting Tomlin out at all. What you got on that game, Justin? You playing that Pittsburgh Bengals game?
That was one of my picks. I picked the Bengals as well. No more.
A lot of people like the Bengals.
No more Ben Roethlisberger. No, it's not that. It's not as much as I don't like the Steelers, even though I think this is going to be a big rebuilding year for them. I love everything I see about Joe Burrow. I watched him at LSU torch the SEC defenses. I watched him, in his rookie season. He got hurt. Most people come back their second year. You get a little better. No, he went off the charts. I mean, having Jamar Chase help, but I mean, he made some throws. And that guy, he's all about business and winning. So I've got the Bengals. I like this Bengals team. Will they make it to the Super Bowl again? I would say no. I think they will make the playoffs and might make it to the conference championship game. I just think there's teams that are just getting better and catching up with them this year, and they're more prepared for them. I like the Bengals. The two games I got, one of them, it seems like everybody disagrees with me, is the Panthers-Browns. I took the Panthers -1. Everybody's taking the Browns because now it's a pick 'em. It was -2.5 at the beginning of the week, and then went to -1. I jumped on it, and now it's a pick 'em. I just don't see how the Browns are going to stick with the Panthers with a healthy McCaffrey. If McCaffrey's not healthy, I know they had a scare, and they almost put him on the injury. Or they did put him on the injury reserve list, but they said he should be fine. And Baker Mayfield, you don't think he's going to not be pissed off at the Browns and try to take his anger out on him? You're crazy.
Tell me the NFL doesn't know what they're doing when they put the Panthers and the Browns against each other week 1 with Baker, and they put the Seahawks and the Broncos against each other week 1.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I do have that. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I do have a same game parlay. It's pretty crazy. It's a little wild, but I took Panthers -1.5 at that point. That was the line. Cooper plus 45 plus receiving yards, and Baker Mayfield 195 plus passing yards. The Baker one's probably the question mark there. Yeah. Will he throw it that much?
Just throw a screen to McCaffrey and get half of it. No, but to follow up what I was saying, a lot of people hate on Baker Mayfield. He took the Browns and won a playoff game. If you go back a year before Baker got there, I think the Browns won 3 games in like 4 seasons combined. And then he takes them and just beats the living tar out of Big Ben and gets up 28-0 in the wild card. Baker Mayfield's a good quarterback, and that was a great pick for the Panthers. We'll see how it goes, but I took the Panthers. And then my last one, I took Washington Commanders -2.5 versus Jacksonville Jaguars. It is at home at Washington. This one, I just don't like anything what I see with Jacksonville. I just don't. I don't think they have that many tools. I know they got Trevor Lawrence. He didn't impress me that first year. And I think he will be better. You got Travis Etienne. But I just don't like this Jaguars team. I think they're 3 or 4 seasons from getting to be a 50-50 team unless they get a killer draft class.
All right.
I do have to quickly address that comment. I have to. Nebraska is not winning the Big Ten, not by a long shot. It's either Michigan or Ohio State. Now, the West's a different scenario because the West is a bunch of shitty teams. So maybe they can win the West. I'm surprised Scott Frost still has a job. And as far as the Jaguars Commanders, I took a small play on Jacksonville's money line.
Yeah, I can't touch those games. Those teams. The Browns and Panthers will be something I don't want to keep my eye on.
I'm going to watch the game.
The Browns got a hell of a defense, and they know this cat, Baker Mayfield. Yeah, that's a coin toss game, really. If either team loses or wins, it won't surprise me, that's for sure.
Well, that's why it's a pick 'em. That's all I got for NFL, though.
I mean, what about this Miami? Miami's laying some points against the Patriots. That's kind of new to the NFL, where Patriots has just always been the powerhouse.
What's it, 3.5?
Yeah.
I'm not betting it. If I had to pick a bet, one thing I've always noticed is the Patriots struggle when it's at the Dolphins. I don't know why. Tom Brady struggled. Not struggle, but I mean they just didn't play their best football. So I know it's a new season, new team, but if I were to bet, I'm not betting this, but I would take the Dolphins by a touchdown.
Yeah, I think I'd take the points. They did struggle. The game was in the late December last year when they were having the Brian Flores dilemma what to do with him. But I think I might take the points with the Patriots on this one myself. Who we got over there in Miami? Still Tua?
This is the year, though. If he doesn't do it this year, he's not going to do it at all because he's got Tyreek Hill. They beefed up the line. They did everything to make him successful.
Jalen Waddle.
Yep.
I've not seen anything that impresses me with Tua. I'll take Bill Belichick to stop him, to be honest with you. I'll take the points there. Baltimore Jets. Jets got Joe Flacco coming back. What's he, about 49?
He's still playing?
He'll be starting against his old team. We got the total at 44. That's probably about right. I mean, there again, you could tease that one over. I don't even know if it'll go over 38. Take that thing up to 50 and call it that.
I am not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
Got the Ravens in one of my money line parlays.
Money line, I get it.
I think one of the better games, and it's basically a pick'em's, Green Bay, Minnesota. Anybody want to?
Well, that kind of leads into the official parlay I gave out. It's the first one I've given out in my new season of giving picks, and I don't give out a lot of parlays as official plays, but I do like this one a lot. I actually took it about a month ago. It's Packers over the Vikings, Titans over the Giants, and Eagles over the Lions. It's about plus 300, depending on where you get it.
Yeah, I think two of them are safe.
Packers being the one that's not.
Well, I'm just saying that's 50-50. Your other two, I think you have about a 60% edge. Your Tennessee, and what was your other game?
Philadelphia.
Philly going to Detroit. Yeah, you got about a 65% edge on that, I would say. But this Packers Vikings,
everybody's been putting the money on the Vikings.
Yeah. Moved a lot.
Yeah, that's gonna be a real good game. That might be your nemesis. Same start time, so sometimes with these parlays, if you hit two, you can maybe up on the other side, and you still could. You like Packers? Put a teaser on the Vikings with 7.5 points. You might catch them both.
Yeah.
If you catch your other two, so there you go. Raiders Chargers. That's a hell of a game right there. Anybody? The line's kind of tricky to me. 3.5 Chargers are laying. I mean, I'm a Raider fan, and I think this Raiders team is going to look pretty damn good this year.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be a tough game. I'm not touching this game. It's just too close.
What's the over-under?
52, and
I'd probably take the under.
Really?
With Herbert and Devontae Adams out there, and I don't know.
It is high for a week one game. I think if this was later on in the year, on a Monday night game or something,
I think with him being on Devontae being on a new team, I think he'll do great. But I don't think you're going to see the fast start like everybody's thinking. I could be dead wrong, but you saw it with the Rams last night. I would have never thought they would just won the Super Bowl 7 months ago, 8 months ago, whatever it was. The way they played last night, Bills looked awesome.
The Bills felt cheated for 2 years in a row. Stafford's done. I don't think he's going to start next year anywhere.
Yeah, that's the best line you'll probably see on the Bills for the most of the year now. They're going to be big favorites from here out in most of these games. You're going to be laying some points on the Bills, I'll tell you that. They look sharp. They look good. They don't look like they missed a beat. They came in prepared and got it done. All right. And then real quick, Tampa and Dallas.
I knew we had to touch on that.
Huh?
I knew we had to touch on that game at some point. I did take a small flyer there on Dallas plus 106. I think that Brady hasn't been practicing. He hasn't been playing. He's got issues at home. The O-line is falling apart in front of him. I don't even think he wants to play this year, realistically. He's kind of haphazardly playing because he can't put his toe in ownership in Miami because Tampa said no. I think the Cowboys might get this thing done. And it may be turnovers on the defensive side of the ball that actually end the game.
Yeah, this line's all the way up now. It's up to 2.5. So the money's been coming in on the Bucks as expected.
It's at the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
I see. If you ever told me I'd take the Cowboys over Tom Brady, I'd be like, I've been drinking. I'm drunk. I like the Cowboys in this game. I like your point about Tom Brady not being there for whatever it was, 3-4 weeks.
He's got no center.
I just like, and it's not going to be the Cowboys' year. Let's get that straight. I'm going to say that straight. They're not going to win.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the Cowboys are going to win it all or that Texas is back.
I'm going to just say they start 1-0.
All right, so let's wrap that up. We'll go real quick then. Just real quick, we'll shoot them out. AFC,
you want to touch Monday real quick before we end it? You got the Broncos and the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think everybody and their mother's going to want the Broncos here.
Broncos are minus 250, minus 6.5, and I've got 6.5, and I've also teased this thing all the way up to minus 13.5 for Denver at plus 220.
You mean Seattle? You took it up.
I took Denver's line up to minus 13.5 for plus 220.
Oh, I see what you did. Reverse. Okay.
Yeah, reverse.
Yeah, I wouldn't get greedy on it.
I took them both. So.
It's still a tough place to play. Geno Smith, he's not the best, but he's not.
He's terrible.
Yeah.
He had that one good game versus West Virginia when he was at Baylor. When he was playing Baylor, 70-63. He threw for I think it was 700 yards in that game in college. It was 70-63 at 8 touchdown passes, and they hyped him up, and he has done nothing since that college football game.
I still think this game's gonna. You guys got to remember, these home dogs they cover a lot of spreads, and 6.5 is about right. Touchdown, getting a little greedy on that. We'll see how it plays out. I think this game will end up closer than you think. I'm all about teasing that down to half a point and forgetting about it, Just Denver gets out of there with a win and just calling it a day. All right, so real quick, let's just go over here. We'll do division winners. AFC East, obviously everybody's going to like Buffalo. Is that right?
Yeah.
What about what do they call it? The AFC North? The Pittsburgh, the Bengals, the Ravens, the Browns.
Cincinnati.
I got Cincinnati.
Yeah, I got Cincinnati too. I do have my prop play of the year or whatever you make, a future bet of the year. I got Steelers over 7.5 wins at plus 105. I counted them up. I come up with about 8, maybe 9. Tomlin in 15 years has never had a losing record. Now they've added an extra game, a 17-game schedule where he's never went below 8-8. So I'm counting on him to get at least 8 wins this year. That's my big future bet of the year. What do we got? AFC West. That's a tricky one here. You got any of those 4 teams. Anybody want to take a stab at the order or finish?
I took the Chargers on that. I actually bet on it.
What are you, Justin? AFC West.
I'd probably have to lean. I want to go the Chargers too. That is the toughest one. I had to think about it for a second.
It is the toughest one, and I've got the Raiders at plus 650, and I'll stick with it.
Bandwagon.
Hometown team.
That's like me picking the Falcons to win the NFC South. It's not happening.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
All right, let's do order of finish because I've got Raiders, Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos. What's your order?
I got Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos.
I'm gonna mimic Justin's order there.
Same one. All right. NFC least. What you got? Eagles.
Yeah.
I just want to see one of them teams win 10 games. I don't care who it is.
Or at least 9.
I'm going to go with the Cowboys this year. I hate to do it, but I'm going with the Cowboys this year.
They are the slight favorite in betting. Chris putting anything in there? Nope. All right. What do we got? The NFC North. There's only 2 dogs in that race, I would say. Minnesota and Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay. And then another could be tough one out there. NFC West.
49ers.
No, yeah, 49ers, yeah.
Yeah, 49ers.
Very close. It's probably very close with Arizona, but
I don't know about Arizona.
I don't know about Arizona either. We'll see. This is another year for Kyler Murray to make it or break it or whatever he's.
They might have been better off keeping Josh Rosen and seeing what he could have done long term. Now he's not even playing football.
wonder if he can still play baseball.
Who knows?
It's never. He could go right into the minor leagues and move through there. So there you go. Any real quick while we finish up
AFC South? You didn't do that?
We didn't do NFC. We didn't do
NFC
South at all.
No, all right. Yeah, the South, AFC South.
Titans.
I got the Colts.
That's tough, man. I'm gonna.
If Derrick Henry stays healthy, it's going to be Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Titans too. That's a tough one there, but I would take the Titans myself.
Hey guys, I got to run. I got an important call.
All right, we're wrapping it up. We'll see you next week.
We're not doing NFC South then, are we? He's
Yeah,
going.
man.
Oh, are we?
Let's see.
Okay.
I mean, is it the Bucks or is it the Saints? I hate the Falcons.
I'm going to go Saints there. I hate, for one, believe it or not, even though being from a Michigan fan, I hate Brady. Never liked the guy. I think he's overrated, but I think this is the year that he's going to regret playing, and the Saints have too good of a defense. I don't like Jameis, but I'm gonna slightly edge Saints.
I do like Jameis, and if he can get his shit together, I think he can actually be a good quarterback. I don't like the fact that they have a new coach because I'm not a big Dennis Allen fan. I did like Sean Payton there. So, yeah, I wonder what the odds are. You got any idea what the odds are for the Saints to win that division?
The Saints to win the South? I can check.
Probably pretty good. Probably 3-1 if I had to guess. Chris has got the Colts winning there. So kind of split.
Plus 300.
That's what I was guessing. Yeah, plus 300. There's some value there. Definitely is some value.
The only two I actually bet on were Titans at plus 170 and Chargers, and I can't remember the number I got, but like plus 120 or something. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, I was able to parlay a couple future division winners. I forget what I got, but I might do another one with the Saints there.
I got to think about that one. Plus 300 is pretty good value. So I'll think about the Saints, and I'm also going to think about the Iowa State money line going into tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Or if not, tease it up to 10. So there you go. Super Bowl prediction, or get to that later?
Man. The Bills are a favorite, and the Bills, like I said, had gotten screwed 2 years in the playoffs and the overtime thing that now isn't a thing. I think they're hungry, they're determined, and they're ready. I don't think anybody can beat them. So I guess I have to roll with the favorites, as chalky as that is. But I do have money. I do have big money on LA Chargers, so I'm hoping they can pull it together.
I'm kind of seeing the Bills and the 49ers for some reason.
And that makes sense.
I mean, the AFC is the toughest. Out west, there's only a couple teams that really could run it through there. But the AFC, just get into a playoffs. I mean, I got a side bet with a guy. He told me the Chiefs wouldn't make the playoffs. I'm like, I gotta believe the Chiefs will make the playoffs. You want to go straight up on that? We'll go on that. But
maybe a first round exit, but they'll probably make it in.
They got the toughest schedule in the league. I'll tell you that. We froze. We look froze.
Holmes has a lot more to prove now that he doesn't have Tyreek out there.
Yeah, Chiefs have got some problems, and I think our internet's got some problems. So let's wrap it up, BP.
All right.
Get ready to watch some.
Thanks for having me. Keep it profitable.
Yep.